Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith. I'm uptown, I'm the one they wanna shop with. Run off with the bag, even though we don't shoplift. All that gun talk y'all want, I'm not with. It's not cool, everybody got them long clips. You gon' mess around and get one of your dogs hit. And when you do, I hope you know you're not John Wick.
So I gotta hold this. Huh? I gotta hold this.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I like? How do I look? Do I look like slouched or something?
No, you look very short, but I mean you're short anyway.
I don't like that. Can I get a booster? No, we're good. I was joking. Sit on that. I'll sit. Hey.
I don't know if it's gonna make a difference.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
a little bit.
Yeah. See, and I just.
Welcome back. Appreciate you locking in with us. I'm Atwood. Killer to my left, DK. Killer to the far left. Been on the podcast a lot. If you watch the Embeddeds, and you know this dude pretty personally, because I think Jay's the same on camera as he is off camera. But it's the prophet Jeremiah Scott.
Yes, sir. First time I've been on the podcast with him.
No.
Yeah.
No,
it's not.
The second time?
I believe so.
Because
Yeah.
remember we did the first one.
It's been a while.
Because I'll never forget that moment where you were talking about peacocking, and you're like, you just got to get it. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah. No, I remember because we were talking about being a dad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Gosh,
it's been over a
man.
year. That
It's
was
been
one of our
over a
first
year, yeah.
pods.
Yeah. That was a while ago.
Yeah, long time.
Time flies.
So, we had mentioned this on the last podcast that we had. You were in Thailand, and we were like, well, by the time the people were seeing this, you would have been fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's 12 hours ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, around this time last week, we were like, oh, Jay-Z's fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all were podcasting while I was fighting, probably.
Somewhere around
It was probably like a couple hours.
But you got to
before.
think it's 9 or it's 8:30. I fought around 9:30, 10 on Wednesday last week.
Yeah, so you were fighting like right as we were wrapping up.
Yeah, across the world, just scrapping.
So that's cool. So tell us a little bit about that experience, man. Like,
so we want to jump straight to the fight.
Well, tell us how that came about, how the whole trip came about first.
Yeah. Like, how'd you get the fight? Did you know you were going to get a fight over there?
Yeah, that was, in the beginning of this whole thing, my coach, Walker Vivian, which has been on this podcast as well, and a training partner of mine, KJ, they were talking about Thailand, and I've been talking about Thailand for over 10 years now, and I was like, man, I really want to go. It's been a bucket list.
I mean, it's a bucket list of mine too.
Yeah, and it wasn't just to go to Thailand. It was to fight in Thailand. My coach Walker had done it, and it is something that I really wanted to do for over 10 years now. So when they said they were going to go, man, I've been saving up, and I was like, man, I'm going with you. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go, and they were like, all right, let's do it. So we ended up buying our plane tickets all together. And
this was in December.
Yeah, they planned all this in like 2 months.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, it was around November.
Yeah. So all three of us bought the tickets. We were at the Walker's gym. We all we met up on a Tuesday or something. It was something about that day that you could get the ticket for a lot cheaper or something, which it wasn't cheaper. And I know how to get it cheaper now, but Mr. Walker knows everything. He's going to get a great deal. Sorry. So anyways, it was very expensive. The whole trip was very expensive, but was it worth it? Beyond all measures, was it worth it? It was the best time of my life. It was the best trip I've ever had, and I've done a lot in my life, and I am not playing. I don't feel like when I say like, man, it was the best time of my life, I start to try to think about all the things I've done in my life. This trip couldn't have gone any better.
It was so good that he never even took out the weave.
Yeah, I still got the
show the horse hair.
I got some horse hair in here. I still need to get this out, but I'm gonna save it for sparring tonight. So, anyways, the trip was amazing, man. Yeah, we might be able to get into some stuff on this conversation that'll give you an idea of what I saw. I'm even gonna get into where I really think hell is on earth. I saw some shit over there that blew my mind. That I'll never forget. You don't want to have your kids at this place. There's got to be a lot of sex trafficking. There's got to be a lot of.
Let's talk about it now. Let's just get to it.
Patong Beach. This place is. It is literally. If there's a place on earth that is considered hell, it's this place because it's the world of opportunity. You don't have to be anybody to be able to get anything that you want. I like to describe
What
it
does
like.
that mean?
it means that like it's the world of there's so many there's just so much going on. There's so much life going on. It was right after my fight. I fought in Bala and we left, and my boys had been telling me the trip. Quentin,
Look at us, bro.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Also, when you say where you're fighting, like where is that? Because a lot of people aren't going to know. Is that near Phuket or Bangkok? Like
Phuket.
Okay.
Yeah, Phuket. So that was where Bangla, whatever it was. And Quentin and Sang. Quentin and Sang had been telling me about this place, and they were kind of mentioning about going a night before the fight, and I was like, bro, I'm not going there tonight. I want to rest. I got a fight tomorrow, and we'll just go after the fight. Well, we get done with the fight, and the boys that we rode up there on a bus, I'll get into that a little later, but after the fight, my boy's like, we're going. Like, this was like, we're going to go to this place, right? This is going to be crazy. And I'm like, you know, whatever. I kind of went into all of this blindsided. I didn't really know much about what I was doing when I flew out to Thailand, man. I went like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, you had to go by yourself.
I went by myself,
Aren't those
man.
the best, though?
It was the best, man. It was God planned this. It couldn't have been planned for me. Like I couldn't have done this. My boys couldn't have done this. Like it went in a way that was like, what's gonna happen? What's going on right now? Where am I?
You
Like,
go into it with no expectations.
Yeah,
the only
man.
thing you expected to
nobody
do was
is
fight.
able to, like-
That's it.
yeah, man.
Nobody's like telling you, speaking in your ear, like, oh yeah, tomorrow we're going here, and it's got this, this, and this. So you have kind of
Well, all right. So I'm gonna get into the Patong or whatever. I'm gonna get into it. We got to get into this first. How I got here. How I got there. Right. So I bought this plane ticket with KJ and Walker. And we're like, we're going. Walker does this huddle up. He's like, all right, boys, we're gonna huddle up now, and when we get there, we're gonna huddle up again and say we made it. Well, we get about so we get.
no way you did that.
I swear to God. I swear I was like, yeah, we're in there. I'm like, man, it's the best day of my life. You know, we're going to be in Thailand together. Like, I love you guys, you know? And then 2 weeks out, we're not going to get into details on this, but Walker's like, I can't go. You know, he says it's because of dog things.
His dog's pregnant.
Dog's pregnant, but anyways, I lost a soldier, and I lost the head soldier. I was going to go with Walker, and that was a big deal to me.
Walker had been there before.
Walker had been there. He knew the ins and the outs. He also set me up with George, which is the owner of Bang Tao MMA and Muay Thai. And that was just, like, it made me feel comfortable knowing that he was going to be flying with me. Also, I bought the plane ticket with him, and he's like, oh, we got to buy our seats and stuff, so we're sitting next to each other. Trust me, dude, you're not going to want to be on a plane for...
$300.
Yeah, so I spent an extra. Wait a minute. I'm pissed off on the way back because I chose to be a good guy
And sit in the middle?
and sit bitch.
Oh no!
So let me
I
just.
was gonna ask you before.
Oh, yeah.
because, man, I've spent 13 hours on a plane to Japan like this.
Not
dude.
fun, man. Not
And
fun.
you're eating your
Hey, you
meal.
sit like this, you sleep like this. You sit like this, you sleep like this. And then when you get out the plane, you're like, and
Yeah.
oh my God. So
anyways,
okay, so Walker fell off. That sucked. I'm pissed off. We got into an argument that pissed me off so much because, man, we were supposed to do this together, and he's done this to me in 10 years before this for a fight I had in New York City. He was supposed to go with me to New York City. He was supposed to fight with me, and then a week before I fly out to New York City, never flown or anything in my life, he pulls out. I go to New York City by myself and fight in New York City by myself. Here I am 10 years later. We plan a trip to Thailand, out of the country, never left the country or done any of this.
no.
And Walker pulls out 2 weeks again, and I'm like, dude, you do this to me every time. Like, I'm getting sick of this. But like I said, it was the best trip of my life. God planned to kick him off. God was like, Walker's going to get in the way, Jay. You don't know this, but I know this.
Yeah.
Go, son.
Yeah.
And I did.
It was
and
a bit of a soul searching.
it was this dude, bro, best trip.
so KJ and you.
So then it's me and KJ. Me and KJ are talking. We're like, man, this is. I was like, don't you worry, man. I'm not leaving. I'm coming with you. He's like, yeah, man, we're good, bro. Don't worry, Jay. It's going to be smooth. 24 hours before he comes to pick me up and drive us to Atlanta, he goes, I get done training on a Friday, and he texts me at 7:15 on Friday after sparring, and I get a text that says, bad news. I'm like, Are you shitting
gotta
me?
be
Like, so I'm like,
Because you already know.
I'm not thinking I'm thinking that he's just not going to be able to pick me up to take me to Atlanta. He's like, you're going to have to find your own ride there. I didn't think it was going to be, he can't go. Story short, he has his attorney hit him up and said he had to be at the court at the day after our flight. So he had to change his flight date. And next thing you know, I'm by myself. It's me. And Walker's then telling me, you know, he's like, oh, if you want to try to refund your ticket, if you're just like, you want to get it. I'm like, no, dude, like, I got to go. I got to go by myself. I'm even telling my family, I'm like, I'm going to Thailand by myself. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, man, I got to do this. And I'm tripping. I'm not playing. I'm tripping. I don't know about this. Yeah. I've never left the country. Like, I don't know where I'm going to be at. I'm in the roads you drive on the left side, not the right side. Yeah. Like, I'm on a moped ripping through the streets by myself, dude. Like, it was the craziest. I had so much fun. So anyways, KJ picks me up and drives me to Atlanta. Him and his baby mama drove me all the way to Atlanta, man. Thank you so much again for that, KJ. And we get there, and I go in, and I get my plane tickets, and KJ came in with me, and I was like, all right, man, I'll see you later. And he dapped me up, and like, he just watched me walk away, man. Just got on that.
It's like from Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. Goodbye, my love.
So I get on the plane, and I shit you not, check it out. I'm like, here we go. You know, I get in there, I get on the plane, and the shit show starts right off the rip, dude. I put my headphones in, I'm on the plane. I'm like, here we go, we're rolling. We're flying. We're on the plane for 1 hour. Next thing, I got my headphones in, I got Netflix on my phone, I'm watching a movie, and I start seeing people standing up. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? And I take my headphones out, and they're like, somebody help! I'm like, oh no. Yeah, I'm like, what? And I look, and there's an Asian dude. I'm sitting on the outside of the lane of my seats, so the row's here. On this side, one row over, there's an Asian dude, and he's leaning out the seat like this, and he's kind of like doing this, right? And I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm on Turkish Airlines, so everybody's got these freaking weird hats and stuff, and they're like, she's holding him up, and she's looking at me, and she's like, sir, please. And I'm like, so in my mind, I remember saying, I'm like this, you got to be shitting me. Like, this is really happening to me, like, already, you know? So I'm like, like I take my headphones off, I put them out, I get up, they're like, pick him up, put him on the floor. So I pick him up, lay him on the floor. I take this pillow that they gave me in my seat and sit it underneath his head. And I'm literally, he's like coming out a little bit, and I'm smacking him in the face. And I'm like, sir, you all right? I got him to kind of come back. He said he was feeling dizzy. He said he was like, I think it was just something about the plane was kind of messing him up. I had to pick him back up, put him back in his seat. Everything's going smooth. I sit back down, put my headphones back in. Next thing I start seeing people stand up again. I'm like, what? Dude's like leaned over even more going, you know, convulsing. So I had to pick him back up, put him back down on the thing. And like
no other qualified people.
Well, then there? Finally a doctor rolls up.
Like, where's this guy been?
Yeah, dude, yeah. Well,
first class?
He was in the back. He was in the back. Oh, yeah. So check it. I'm like, he comes up, he's like, I'm a doctor. I'm like, all right, well, you got this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I sit back down in my seat, headphones back in. Then next thing you know, I'm like, yeah. He's like, listen, man, I got to get this guy to the front of the plane. I'm like, do you want me to pick him up? And he's like, I need you to carry him to the front of the plane. I'm in the freaking back. So, yeah, dude. So I stand up, and it's just been going on for so long. I'm literally like, that's it. Like, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. I'm trying to sit down.
And everybody's looking at you.
Everybody's like this. Oh my gosh, is he okay? Like, there's old women, there's people coming up, they're like, sit down, go sit down, because everybody's nosy, right? Yeah. I get up, and I'm like, I'm at this point, like, I'm taking charge. You guys keep touching me, you keep trying to get me. So I stand up, I'm like, all right, here's the deal. I'm going to pick him up. You're not going to help me because he's an older man. I'm like, but I know who's going to help me. That guy over there. And it was a black guy that I was talking to before I got on the flight, and he had some muscle to him. And I looks at me, and I was like, that guy's going to help me. He's looking at me like, oh, damn, dude. I'm like, yeah, I need you. So I get underneath this dude's shoulders, and he's got his legs, and we carry him from the back of the plane all the way to the front. I even said, I got to sit him down because he's so heavy. He's passed out. I had to sit him down. I get the double unders, grab them titties this time, get a good grip on them, and I freaking get him all the way to the front. I sit him down in VIP, laid this dude like this. He's got a TV screen at this point. He's like this. And I'm like, literally like, you're good, man. All right, you're good. And he don't even know. He comes back 1 hour before we land and he's like, hey, I just want to say thank you so much for helping me. I stand up, I give him a hug. I'm like, I know what you were doing, dude. You just wanted VIP. I'm going to try that one on the way home.
No way.
Yeah, he started laughing and the other dude heard me and he was like, yo, like. I started laughing so hard. I was like, you just wanted VIP. I'm going to do it on the way home. And he's a Chinese dude. He's looking at me like, what? And the other dude's laughing because we were talking a little bit before. So that was the play right there.
Fucking hilarious.
Oh man, just off the rip, dude. Right off the rip. And then I have a 9-hour layover in Turkey. And I found something out about Turkish people or Turkey and Turkish Airlines. It's not called Turkish Airlines.
I know where this is going.
It's called Turkish Hairlines. Bro, hey, I'm giving an honest percentage right now. This airport is like a mall. It's a very nice airport. And I have a 9-hour layover there, so I'm kind of like, walking around. Yeah, I'm doing my thing. I'm going to give you an honest percentage, and I'm going to say 20% out of 100 of them are walking around with two black eyes, or they got two black eyes because they get their nose broken and reshaped, or their heads are bleeding,
or their teeth. A lot of people go to Turkey for fake teeth too.
Okay,
did you see dudes walking around with, like, swollen heads?
Yeah, all over the place. Their heads were blasted. They had red, and dude, they're just like, what's up, bro? Like, they don't give a shit.
They're looking at you like, why are you here?
Yeah, I came here last year. They do great.
You got plenty of hair, man.
Damn. I got mine done 2 years ago. 2,000 grand. How much was yours?
2,000 grand.
Yeah, I heard that shit.
Did I word that wrong?
Well, you said 2,000 grand. You can just say $2 grand.
Oh man!
So you get fast forward though.
Okay, well now let's real quick. I don't want to forget about Turkish Airlines. And so on the way back, I'd been seeing these everywhere, and I'm kind of like looking at it from afar. I'm not up
now
on it.
You gotta ask.
On the way
questions.
back, I sit next to a lady that had her hair blasted. And she tells me, she's like, don't worry, I'm going to take my pills and my glass of wine, so if I'm snoring, just budge me. I'm like, I'm sitting, bitch. I'm like, God, dude, get me out of here. And she goes, so I'm watching the movie, and I look over at her, and she's like this. So I'm like, I can finally get a good look at what this dome piece looks like. So I'm like, looking at it, and it's just a bunch of like holes in their head. Like, I don't know how they do it, but I'm like trying to look at her head.
They take larva and they like insert it into your scalp, into your hair follicles.
Larva of what?
Of like hair.
Hair?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's called larva, but that's what it looks like. It looks like a little gel thing. They just puncture it in the follicle.
Josh's manager ends up. He has that. Yeah, he went and had
a hair thing done.
Yeah.
He did that.
Yeah.
It's not called hair plugs, is it?
No, I think it's called hair transplant.
Okay.
But so you get. Let's just fast forward to Thailand.
Okay.
We're probably 30 minutes in, and we're not even in Thailand.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't know. That was exaggerating, but
yeah. Okay, so we land in Thailand, and I get off the plane, and I have no clue how Thai bot money works, and I'm looking. I had to get a SIM card.
Get it to a exchange,
like a kiosk.
Well, I did the exchange. I exchanged some of my money, which I already went there with some Thai money, and then the first thing I'm doing is trying to get me a SIM card from there to put in my phone so I can at least use WhatsApp and have internet. So I got the SIM card, put in my phone. I started to get that to work. And then the next thing was I need to get my phone to work and to figure out where Quentin is, because he lived there. And I've known Quentin because I fought him 10 years before I got to see him there. I fought him, and then we became best friends on this trip. Crazy. So I get to this taxi spot, and I'm like, hey, I need a taxi to Patong Beach, and they're like, okay, that'll be 700 baht, and I'm like, how do I go about this? I don't know what it's gonna cost or anything, and I call up Quentin and Sang, and they're like, 700 baht, they getting you, man. I was like, well, I mean, I need a ride. And he's like, yeah, just might as well. So I was like, I'm going to try the other one. I go over there and I'm like, hey man, I need a taxi to Patong Beach. And he's like, all right, that'll be 1,000 baht. And I was like, well, the dudes over here said 700 baht. He's like, okay, 700 baht. I'm like, so I'm like, okay. And I get my thing. And then like, I get my taxi. Yo, I get out there. This was crazy, man. We're in the streets and they're just like up in the back of cars, just like right next to other cars driving. I'm like, yo, like chill, like damn, it's that bad. Next thing you know, I get my moped and I'm driving just like them. Everybody's parked in their lines. I'm going through the cars while they're parked. The way to go about it is get a moped. Don't ever get a car in Thailand. You can get everywhere. If it says 25 minutes, you can get there in 10 minutes with a moped. And it's so much fun. Yeah. Like you're having so much fun.
It's so much more dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you get taken out by one of those.
I saw a lady
cabs.
get hit by a car out there. Smashed right in front of the tattoo shop.
There too, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Huh? Drink and drive out there?
Yeah, dude. I saw a hammered dude. There was a dude hammered out in front of the tattoo shop fighting a guy in the middle of the street because he wouldn't get out the road. And it happened right after the chick got hit by a car. My boy Ziggy rolls up on the moped. You're chick freaking laid out in the middle of the road. I got her feet washed. I put antibiotic ointment on her toes and stuff, wrapped her foot up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I helped her out, dude. She needed help. She went to the emergency room, saw her out 2 days later, and she came up and said, thank you so much for helping me out. She was like from Russia or something. So
wow.
But she was like, thank you so much, because I got my backpack out and I told her husband, wash her feet. And then I put antibiotic ointment on her wounds because she had big gashes on her toes and stuff. And then I wrapped her toes up because I had gauze and tape in my bag. So, and then it was 10 minutes after that, there's like these two dudes fighting outside. One's shit-faced drunk, and the other guy just gets out of his car, a little Thai guy, and then this like tall Russian dude. So that was that was a crazy little moment that happened out of nowhere, just sitting in front of the tattoo shop out in Thailand.
And you got quite a few little tattoos when you're out there. I mean, you got both your ears done, and then you got
I got my fingers done.
Knuckles.
I got my knuckles done. I've got the English Muay Thai, and then I've got Thai Muay Thai right here. I've got a couple of symbols. One of them is for good energy, and one is for strength. And yeah, I just started getting tattoos like crazy. We chilled at the tattoo shop a lot while I was out there, so that was something fun to do in between training and exploring and all that. But yeah, when I landed in Thailand, I met with Quentin though at the gym. I paid for my membership. I got my stuff. And
how much was that, by the way?
They cut me a killer deal. I trained 8 days and I spent, I think it was $70 US. $70 for 8 days. And this was I've trained at a lot of gyms. This was the nicest gym I've ever trained at in my life. And you're around UFC vets. You're around one championships, like dogs, and everybody is an animal.
Yeah.
Everyone. Like, there's videos, and I'm gonna have Jay, I'm gonna send them to him. Dude, one mat's got 50 people on it. One mat's got 50 people on it. One mat's got 50 people on it. Then there's a whole strength and conditioning area, and there's like 50 people just ripping mats.
Tons of people.
I say in one of the videos I'm gonna give to you, I'm like, if somebody was to piss this place off, it could take over all of Bang Tao. Like, they would just run through, just this crowd of people is unstoppable. So when we get to the gym, I pay for my membership. I get set in. It was Wednesday night, and Quentin is like, the first thing he's like, hey, you want to come to church with me? I'm like, absolutely. I'd absolutely want to go to church. And Quentin was like, let's go. Like, so I hop on the back of his moped. We drove 30 minutes to this. It was a Wednesday night, and it was what do you call a Wednesday night church sesh? It was a group.
Like Bible study?
Yeah, it was a Bible study, yeah. Man, we had some of the most serious prayers and stuff. We sat down at a table, we all ate, we all introduced ourselves, and then they separated the men from the women. And the women went over here and the men came over here, and we all sat down together, and we said, like, my name is Jeremiah Scott. I'm from America, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've came out here to train and fight, and I was supposed to be out here with a couple of my friends, but God sent me here alone. And they asked each one of us, like, what would we like to pray about? What would we like to, some things that we would like to be prayed about and stuff. And my prayer was, I would like to just have prayer for mental health, because I know a lot of people that are having like mental warfare with themselves, and it's just causing them to not really be a happy person and finding happiness in their day-to-day lives. I struggle with mental health a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like, I show up to the gym with a smile on my face, and I work really hard every day, but man, I deal with a lot of stuff that nobody really knows about because of how I carry myself. And it sometimes can eat us up as men and women. So I was asking for mental health and also just overall guidance from my Heavenly Father because I need him more than anything. So after we do this, we all say our thing. Each person gets in the middle, and then we all put our hands on that person, and one person prays for that person for that prayer that they asked for, but also just other prayer. Man, we did all these prayers. I'm getting chill bumps thinking about it right now. I get in the middle. They put their hands on me, bro. I'm getting chill bumps right now.
Wow.
They were praying for me, and they were getting it, dude. My heart felt like it was going to explode. I'm getting chill bumps right now.
I can see them.
I can feel it now. And I started to think, like, while they're praying for me, I was like, my heart's going to explode. Because I was like, just like, you got 10 dudes on you praying, and they're just holding you, man. There's a lot into that. It's coming from them.
Yep.
The dude's like, in your name we pray, Jesus, amen. They all say amen. And then another dude says, I got one more. They go in for a second dosage of Jesus. Man, they light me up. I get done. I feel like I'm floating when I get done. I'm breathing hard like, oh my God. This is the first day in Thailand. I get to land in Thailand. I got 10 dudes I don't know praying for me.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, like Super Saiyan. So then we prayed for everybody else. And I said something to him. I said, man, I've been talking about getting baptized back home, but I don't really know if like getting baptized is like, you got to go through the church and this and that. And there's a lot that goes into it. And he said, hey, we've been doing baptisms every Sunday here. I was like, oh, are you saying you want to baptize me? And he was like, I would love to baptize you. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So then we line up. It was Wednesday. On Sunday, we lined up for me to get baptized, and I ended up getting baptized on Sunday while out there in Thailand. The trip was absolutely amazing, man. That's just like a piece of all the stuff, but let's just say I was supposed to go there with KJ. I was supposed to go there walking. I ended up going by myself. The first day I landed in Thailand, Jesus hit me, man, and he's like, we're about to ignite this, man. And I went there and got that was the most intense prayer moments of my life. I'm somewhere across the world.
Start the trip too,
dude. I was ready. This trip went amazing. All of it was a great trip. It really was perfect how that went. I needed that. So we did that, and then we lined up on Sunday to get baptized. We went to church on Sunday, and then we went outside, and I got baptized, and my really good friend Quentin got baptized with me the same day. It was just me and him got baptized. So that was I've been wanting to get baptized for a really long time, so that was an amazing moment right there.
It feels refreshing afterwards, right?
Yeah.
When like the water, you literally.
Yeah.
So I got rebaptized a while back, and on Easter Sunday, I got baptized. And man, shoot, this was probably 5 years ago, maybe somewhere around in there. And I got baptized when I was a kid, but like you run through the muck, you kind of feel like you fall off and everything. It's just like, I didn't really understand what I was doing.
Well, that's what Quentin said.
He
He had been baptized. He was saying the same thing. Wanted to kind of redo it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like if you grow up in the church, like you have to get.
I grew,
the point
and that's
to be an
what,
adult and realize.
And that's what it was, man. I
grew.
grew up in the church. It was kind of forced upon me. I never really wanted to go, and then I was like, man, like I don't need church. I don't need, and then I kind of got away from God. I kind of got away from me thinking where, I'm kind of like more of like what Buddhism is, I'd just be a good person and, good things will happen and everything's like that. But it's like, that doesn't give you a person to talk to. Mm-hmm. When you're in your lowest of lows, you're at rock bottom, you're going to talk to a fat guy,
Also, my dad said about Buddha, he says, you can go find that dude's grave and pull his bones up. You ain't going to find Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He was like, so then just go and start off with that.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of them believe in Buddhism out there in Thailand.
Yeah.
Well, because it's so close to China.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Didn't really think of that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but it's like, they have a lot of statues out there, Buddha.
Yes. I even I brought back some statues I gave away that were Buddhism, but.
Yeah, they're good for like good luck. It's like a.
Well, everything has power only if you give it to it. If it's anything like that, like.
You're putting too much. Anyways,
so so when I get to my room that night, I go to sleep every morning at 5. It's a little before. I think I want to say it's at 5:25. I don't know, it's a weird time, but I think it was at 5:25. They do a like a Buddhist anthem every morning. It comes out the speakers real loud, early as hell.
they do that in Afghanistan and Iraq for Muslim prayer.
I was up every day at that time too. I didn't sleep in while I was out there. I was up
so
early.
Eerie.
It sounds sketchy.
Eerie,
Plus, you
bro.
had the rooster.
Yeah, and then there was a chicken outside my door, and it was not, this chicken doesn't, you'd think like chickens do it when the sun starts coming. This chicken's going like freaking 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. It's freaking crazy all night long, like right outside my door, dude. It was just, I went out there looking for it one time, like, dude, what is this thing doing? It sounded like it was on the
So are you
outside
staying
of my
at
door.
the gym?
No,
They
I was
have-
staying at this place called a Diner Lodge. It was like a hotel. It wasn't bad, just the shower didn't work really that well. I showered at the gym or at the beach with the shower there. I kept my soap on me and stuff, and I would wash while I was out. So I didn't really stay in my room, man. Like I left my place at 6 a.m. and I didn't get back to my place usually ever till like 10 or some nights 1 a.m. And after my fight, I didn't get home till 3:30 a.m. So, yeah, man, the training was absolutely insane. I trained super hard every day. They pushed me. The classes were an hour and a half. The privates I did were literally 1 hour long, and he would always push you to a point where I don't feel like I can go anymore, but I'm going to keep going. At one point, man, one of my favorite parts of it was I was doing Thai kicks. They made me do so many Thai kicks, to where like I get to this one of these last sets of Thai kicks, and my legs are just kind of just coming up at this point. Like I'm not whipping them like I was. And my coach, which his name was Crew Nick, that guy was an awesome coach. He did a great job of pushing me, and he was invested in me. I could tell that he knew I wanted to fight, because when I got there, I found my coach, and I said, I want to fight. The first day I saw him, I was like, I want to fight. I've got 8 days. I want to fight. He's like, oh, you want to fight? I was like, I want to fight. I want a tough fight too. I don't want an easy fight. He was like, oh, tough fight. I was like, yeah, I want a tough fight. I have a lot of fights. He was like, okay. So like, they're like telling me I'm going to fight. They're like, you're going to fight Wednesday. I got a fight lined up Wednesday. I was like, let's go. So I had like 6 days to train hard for it, which I'd already had a camp here. I trained myself to go up there. But where my downfall is I went to Thailand heavy. So they were saying I was 77 kgs, and that's like 170. And I fought a dude that was big. He was a big guy, man.
He looked tall.
He was tall. He had big legs. So how it goes is like, we're going to kind of go through it. The training and everything was amazing there. All that was awesome. We're going to get to the fight day, right? So I was starting to kind of freak out. Like, I don't know who I'm fighting. No one's telling me who I'm fighting. I don't know how big they are. They don't know nothing. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know who I'm fighting. I don't know where I'm fighting. They're like, I don't know anything. And so I'm kind of trying to get some input on it, and they're not telling me anything. I don't know how many rounds I'm fighting. I don't know nothing. And I'm like, shit. So I hit up Walker, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm freaking out a little bit. On the poster, it's got me fighting this one dude. It looks like, and I ended up
championship belts and
got
shit?
belts and shit. But I ended up not fighting that guy. I got in the ring and see who I'm fighting. I didn't know who I was fighting until I got in the ring,
wow.
right? But I hit up Walker. I'm like, dude, I'm freaking out a little bit. Like, I don't know who I'm fighting. I don't even know where I'm at. Like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know nothing, dude. He's like, bro, like, you're gonna be fine, dude. Like, you know who you are. Then he sends me photos of me standing over dudes like that I've knocked out. Like, he's sending me photos of me holding belts, like, you know. And like, I was like, yeah, dude. Like, I know who I am. I know who I am. So then we show up to the venue. They told me to be there at 6. They said that the bus would be there at 7. Everybody that was fighting, which it was just me and this one other girl, we get on a bus, and we get on this bus together, and we're all riding to Bangla. It took about an hour to get to Bangla from our gym. So we get on the bus at 7. We ride to the venue, and when we get there, we're all cooped up in this bus. It's slammed full of guys. And when we get there, Bangla is lit, dude. The streets are just flooded with people. There's this big building. There's 2 Muay Thai dudes on top of it. My freaking poster, my banner is all over the streets. I'm walking up, and there's these little Thai people going, oh my gosh, like, you're fighting. Like, they're like coming up at me, treating me like a superstar in a sense. Like, I'm like, this is crazy, because like, I'm just, you know, me. But they're grabbing me and pointing at posters and stuff like, this is you, you know. So they kind of gave me like a superstar vibe. So this is how this went down. I get to the venue, my posters are up, I'm there, and they're like, they already know who I am, right? I get to the venue, I walk in the venue, and then within 30 minutes of me being in the venue, I'm in the ring standing in front of my opponent.
Holy shiza.
30 minutes.
Wow.
I get in there, they're like, oh, you fight too. I'm like, what? They're like, come. And they grab me. They're like wrapping my hands up, which they barely wrap your hands up. They put a couple of pieces of tape on it, felt like, and they're like, okay. And then they put your shorts on, they start rubbing me down with Thai oil. They rubbed about half of my body, and they're like, oh, you got to fight.
Wait, hold on. Thai oil?
Yeah, like,
Thai liniment.
yeah.
Can we talk about that? Because I've never heard about that before.
Yeah.
So go ahead, man.
What does that do? What
No,
is
you
that?
bring
What's
it
the
in.
purpose?
No, so it's just warm. It heats. It brings blood to like your skin surface.
Makes you real hot.
Oh,
Makes you
okay.
And it's like
I didn't know if
traditional
it was-
for them to like rub your arms down really hard and
Okay,
stuff like
okay.
that.
I didn't know if
It's
it was
like-
some
it's
sort
like
of
a
like
speedy way to-
ceremonial.
It's a speedy way to like warm your body up.
Like
and
when
everything
wrestlers
like
start
that,
smacking
yeah.
themselves and shit?
Yes. something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry to
Very,
interrupt. I just
very
wanted to-
similar to that.
Yeah, well, that's what they do.
But
for-
usually you get a big massage, man. Like
Right.
your arms, your legs, your back.
they get on it.
Each
I only
leg,
got a
right.
half one.
He got a half tug.
I got a half one, dude.
The whole time that's what
and
I'm
so,
thinking, dude.
and also to talk about that, I get to the ring and I get in there and I haven't seen my opponent. I don't know who I'm fighting. I get in there and I'm like, I look up at him. I'm like, in my mind, I remember for a split second I said, shit. But I was like, nah, you're good. Like, you know what I mean? But I was like, damn, he's big. I remember looking up at him and I looked down and his legs still looked big. Like, cause I was trying to say like, where's this portioned at? But he was well portioned and he was bigger than me. So I was like, oh man, who the hell's this guy and where's he
Did
from?
you weigh in? Any?
No, they set my weight in a week before the fight and they said he weighed that. I don't know how much he weighed.
my gosh,
I didn't know nothing,
dude.
bro. So I'm standing there, I'm looking at him, and this dude's grabbing my arm, he's like, and I'm like, looking at him like, what is he saying right now? Like, what's going on? He's making me feel like I'm doing something wrong. So then he's like, all right, he pushes me to my corner. I do my prayer around the ring. I go back to my corner and my coach is over and I'm like, how many rounds? Like, how many rounds am I fighting? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, I need to know how many rounds I'm fighting. Like, and he's like, he's asking around. They finally tell me I'm fighting 5 rounds. And then I'm like, God, this plane ride's about to hurt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to be hurting on the way home. But I ended up actually blistering his ass. I chopped his leg off. I could tell he kicked me right in the face one time, and I think that kind of woke me up, and I just started chopping at his legs. Every kick I threw, I landed on the outside and behind his knee. It wasn't like thigh or calf, and I think I hurt his knees or something with the kicks. But I ended up actually dominating that fight.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of, from what I remember, punches thrown.
No,
It
I
was
threw a
mainly-
couple of punches. I blocked one of his body shots and threw a counter 1-2.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted anything to do with my hands, and then I just kept beating his legs up.
Where was he from?
I don't know. I think he was from Russia.
I was about to say, like, well, obviously the camera was far away, but
Yeah.
from the distance, I couldn't tell that it wasn't the same dude on the
He
poster.
wasn't speaking English.
Yeah.
I heard him speak to his corner when I was over there, and he wasn't speaking
And he was a
English.
little disrespectful, too.
He
huh?
was, because
Yeah.
I went to do my prayer, and my coach told me to do every
he's like
corner.
He's
I
like
scraped
something
myself.
too.
Exactly. I went to go to the corner, and he stopped me, and I was like trying to pray in the corner, and I was like, my coach told me to pray in that corner. I'm going to. So I go into his corner and pray, and when I did, he's pointing at me, and that was when I heard him not speaking English, and he was like doing this and talking to his coaches, kind of just being disrespectful, and then I beat that ass. You know. So, but hey, man, I want to say something about that part and like what kind of accomplishment that was for me. I remember when I was a kid and I was fighting at 18 years old, and I found out that there was something more to fighting than just being a talented fighter. I showed up to fight and I realized that there was something about the moment in life. Say I set a date and I had to be somewhere and I had to be this person. It would affect the way that I performed. And it was because I didn't really have confidence in myself. Confidence is earned and it's gained from hard work and dedication and doing something over and over to a point where you find belief in yourself. And I know that you can put me anywhere in the world now. And I don't care if I'm across the world by myself, I remember who I am. And I'm a force to be reckoned with, no matter who you are, what size you are, or where you're from, because I know where I'm from and who I am. And that's why I think that dude didn't want no business with me, because he could see in my movement and see in my actions that I know who I am in there, no matter what now. And that's why, man, let's go ahead and talk about Solo, dude. Like, I think he thinks of me in a younger version of myself. And like, man, like, I'm learning who I am, and I I'm a problem now, dude. I can take shots and give shots. I got good defense wrestling. I got good wrestling at times. I'm just learning to believe in myself. I think that's why I'm winning a lot more now.
Yeah.
In my fights, because I'm not a kid anymore, and I don't question who I am. I know who I am, and it's going to be a problem for anybody that wants to fight me now, because I've learned that. Like, that was something that I really enjoyed about myself when I went up there. I started to be nervous about who I'm fighting and what it is, but at the end of the day, I said, I know who I am and what I'm about to do, and that's what got my hand raised. I didn't hesitate. I lived. I believed in myself.
Dude, that's hard, man. Going over there and
Yeah, well, you both have experience with going to the other side of the world and fighting, you know. So like when you hear his story, right? In what way can you relate to that with your experience in Italy?
Oh, I mean, getting there and it's like the next day is weigh-ins.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and you fight the next day after that. So it's like there was no, get ready, no jet lag or anything like that. It's like, hey man, you got to fucking fight. And then, I showed up to fight. Unfortunately, my body wasn't all there with me. You know what I'm saying? So.
But like in terms of culture shock, right? Because we've all been to different countries and we've all experienced culture shock to it.
It's
now in
so
England,
food, it's the food choices for me.
That's what I was about to say. The same thing.
So when after weigh-ins, I want to, I could, I wanted to eat.
Yeah.
Nobody speaks English. Where we were at, we were in this little small town of Italy, so I had to. Everything was Google Translate, and this is the early ages of Google Translate, so it wasn't like
accurate, probably
as good. And so, we went to this restaurant that we had went to before, and we had to we want this, and we're thinking we're getting pasta with it's just pasta with olive oil on it. And, there's no meat, there's no nothing, so you have to order a cheese board, a meat and charcuterie board, because that's what they do in Italy. It's like that's how you need to get your meat and your cheese. They don't put it with their pasta traditionally, I guess. And then we go to a restaurant, and the restaurant doesn't. The owner is not talking to us. He knows we're American. He's going to every other person besides us, man. And at one point, we're trying to get some service. It's me, Cody, and Megan, and we're trying to get seated to eat. And this is the day before weigh-ins, the day before a fight, and so trying to get some food at this place that's down below our apartment, and nobody's sitting us in. So finally, we got somebody that spoke a little bit of English, and they're like, "Yeah, that guy, he doesn't talk to Americans, doesn't speak to Americans." People didn't like Americans when I got called out. There was 5 of us that fought that night. We got iced that night, meaning.
Did they boo you?
Yeah. Yeah, we were in a nightclub on a Sunday, so I fought on a Sunday instead of the traditional Saturday, and how you fought on a Wednesday. It's just not normal, right?
Well, they do fights. They do fights 3 days a week in Thailand. That's
shit.
They fight all the time out there.
Yeah.
Damn. When you came out in Italy, you should have came out to the old the Kurt Angle thing because you had the American flag.
So I came out
suck.
to. I came out to.
No, I don't think so.
Dude. That'd have been legendary.
I think he would have
bro.
came back.
I came out.
I don't think he would have came back, Jay.
I came out to a Native American music. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Tribe Called Red, and they have this big
I thought you were about to say
I remember that was you taking ice baths and stuff with it, right?
And it would drop this beat and stuff, and man, that was hardcore in the ice baths back then. That was early 2018, so I had started taking ice baths in 2017.
Yeah.
Really hard. Yeah.
So,
anyway,
going back to Thailand, then, right? You go and you fight.
Yeah.
You obviously win second round.
Yeah.
You just couldn't take any more leg kicks.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
That's when we head to Patong.
Yeah.
And that's when I find out that there's hell on earth. And I mean that.
So that's where all these clubs and shit were?
There's clubs. Every other club is a strip club. It's open too, so you can just see them. They're butt ass naked. I mean, they're covering from the bottom down. They're wearing a G-string.
That's like the red light district.
I don't know what you mean by that.
red light district in Amsterdam is where you can go and pick out
prostitution.
girls.
Yes. It's all over the place.
Okay, yeah.
You can do whatever you want there. I mean that. You can do whatever you want at this
What's the
place.
age for drinking there? Do you know?
I don't know, but it looked like anybody can do anything there. I wouldn't say there's one. I really don't, man. I'm telling you, it's some messed up shit. So I want to break it down like this. When I left, I can see it right now, and it is hell on earth, man. Big old sign that says Patong Beach, right? Pretty sure it says Patong Beach. I know it says Patong something, but As you walk in, that is when it's going. I don't know why the lady boys are all lined up on the sides, but they keep they're on the sides, okay, and they're everywhere. And I started to see them. I'd seen them a little bit in town where I was from, but I was questioning it. No question here, and I was like, I'm gonna go talk to them. You know?
Oh my God.
So I got to I gotta figure out. I gotta get the full effect of this. So I went up to them and I was like, hey, and they look creepy, man. They all wear these contacts that make their pupils look real big. And they just got this eerie vibe to them, man. Like this kind of like, you better be, there's something wrong. You're going to change your whole life like that. And you're in this area every day. There's something going on.
Oh, yeah.
They might be heavily on drugs and these people are using them.
For sure. Why the contacts?
I don't know. I don't know. They're giving off a vibe, man. And you know, like, I'm going to tell you, man, there's some weird shit going on in this world, man. So I go up to him. I'm like, hey, lady boy. And she's like, lady boy. They got this, like, talk to him like, lady boy. Like, very calm and, like, seductive feel. And there's a bunch of them, man. They're everywhere. And but the only thing I can say is that they are honest. They're not lying to you. That's what they are. And they're honest because, there's old men. There's older men and stuff that are going there for that. There was dudes I saw, they stay at the dunes. Now, they're like from Russia and stuff, but they're clean cut and stuff, and they've got lady boys on them. And they're over there, and I'm like, this is some sick shit. They got the lady boys on them. Think about it like, all right, so before I get down, I'm going to break down what hell looks like in my mind. All right, I'm going to take your mind somewhere, all right? Because I believe in heaven and hell. And this is some real shit. Blows my, I get chill bumps thinking about how sick this place. There's sex trafficking going on. There's people being sold in this place. You can go anywhere you want in that place and get anything you want from these people. They are programmed to do what you want if you have enough bot.
Which is money.
Yes. So you've got these lady boys lined up on the side, and they give off this vibe of like, come here. Yeah. When you're walking by, they're grabbing me. They're grabbing my arms, and I'm pulling my arms off of them because they're trying to pull you in. Not all of them are, but some of them are. They're like, oh, come here, and they're grabbing you. And it's like, hey, get off me, you know what I mean? And then there's these dudes and women in the middle of the walkway that are holding these signs, and it's like, come to the ping pong show, and like, come to this, and like, hey, come over to the 2,000 baht, come in here and watch this, and like, do this stuff. They're trying to sell you on this stuff. And then there's these people selling vapes and this stuff, and you're walking through and they're all trying to sell you this stuff. They're coming up to you like, come here and do this. And they're selling this shit that's there. It's like a constant like, come here, do this, buy this. And you got the lady boys on the side. And I'm walking through and I can see this dude right now as I tell y'all. He's holding the sign and he puts the sign down and he looks at me and he goes, and he's like trying to sell me drugs. Yeah. He's trying to sell me drugs. He's trying to sell me the events. And there's the lady boys on the side doing this seductive pulling in feel.
The devil,
bro.
That was the devil right
it's there. It's the devil all in that place, man. I'm saying like, so let me break it down like this. You think of hell. You got people burning. And like they're screaming. People are screaming and dying. There's flames and shit. And then you've got these demons that have horns and they've got these tits and they've got a big ass dick. And they're just standing. No, man, fucking stick it out. These dudes got dicks and they got tits and they got these contacts in and they look like demons. I get chill bumps thinking about this, man. Like they're like seducing you in, and then you got these guys like, come here and buy this. Like every day they do this. This was a Wednesday night and it's like a triple Saturday here at the beach. It's Vegas on crack. And I was like, man, like imagine you've got your child and it goes in there. Your child's never coming out. They're going to take your kid and they're going to turn them into that, or they're going to slave them out. Like, it gave off a serious satanic vibe, man. I saw it. And like, if you want to see it, go see it for yourself in Thailand, Patong. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Isn't that crazy though? Thinking about your trip and what you've said since you've been here, right? Like, and we're all spiritual. Isn't it crazy how God works though? Yeah. Because you went there and not only was it a spiritual journey for you, right? You got baptized and you had a real spiritual moment. And in the same trip, you see the exact opposite.
Oh, yeah.
And
on
it's
the last
all
day.
in one place.
On the last day, dude.
So the first day, you see Jesus.
Wow.
Now the last day, it's like, hey, bud, so you lived your life. Now it's time to go back home. What you really about?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And it's like literally the devil's like, come back.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah. One last little tint.
come on.
You know, some temptation before.
Well, that's crazy.
Dude,
oh my
I've been
God,
dude. I've been listening to some shit, man, with the priest on the Sean Ryan podcast. And he talks about the day he stopped drinking. He leaves his priest and he's like, stop drinking. And it's this guy, he's well dressed. He says he doesn't pay him no attention, but he walks by him. He could notice him out of nowhere because he looks out of nowhere. He's just so recognizable.
Yeah.
And then the guy, he's like walking away, and the guy's like, hey. He's like, the guy grabs his arm. He's like, let's get a drink. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, that was the devil.
That is, yeah.
That was the devil. Fast forward. He's a priest, full-on priest. He's at this, like, and he's telling the story, and he's at this, like, kind of a pool bar area, right? Having drinks with these two girls or two ladies, two women that he's trying to, like, counsel or something like that. And out of nowhere, they're talking about this guy behind him. And he says, I shit you not. Well, of course, the priest didn't say that, but he's like, these girls recognize this guy. And they're like, oh, my God, the guy, he's coming over here. Comes over there, and it's the guy, same guy, no shirt on, handsome as ever. And he's like, what are you doing in my part of town? He was like, you're not supposed to be down here. He's like, this is my area. And he was like, and you're right. He says, I probably wasn't supposed to be in that area.
Right.
So, dude, when you were telling me that story and that guy looks at you, puts the sign down and does that.
I'm walking by him and he goes by, bro. It was like a movie, man. Wow. And hey, so I haven't had a drink I'm going on a year now. I haven't had any alcohol. I haven't done anything at all, man. I've been living a sober lifestyle. And let me tell you something, it feels nice. Every day I wake up, you can call me any day of the time and I can be where I need to be and get the job done. That's power right there. Yeah. I went into this place sober. I didn't drink. Some of the guys where we got tore up. My boy quit and got hammered. I drove him back to my place, and I was hitting a brake, and his head's bouncing off my back on the moped. So, like, everybody was getting tore up, but I'm sober as a goat, you know? I didn't get back till 3:30 in the morning because I got a taxi to my moped, and then I had to drive to the... So I saw all of that sober, and that's why I'm able to see it as well as I did and clear eyes as I did. I was like, man, it was incredible. Like, the trip was incredible. I had the best time of my life. I accomplished all the stuff that I said. I made a box. I made a notes of all the things I needed to do, and I checked off every single box that I said I needed to do, but mystery boxes came along the way while I was there, and I checked those off too. It was the best trip of my life, and I will be going back at the beginning of next year with a handful of my guys, but if those guys don't go, I still will go.
I think about traveling too, man. Like, it gets addicting.
Jay, you said you're coming with me, right?
I would love to go.
Let's put this on the pod.
Damn it.
All right, let's go.
You know, I ain't shaking on it.
All right, baby.
As long as I got it.
You know, I ain't shaking on it.
Not after that story. Yeah, you ain't going to church.
I would love to go. I would love to go, man.
Yeah, you stay at home.
But so, and we're gonna check. I know you got a lot of video, and we're gonna try to put something together. Kind of try to make maybe something like an embedded, since we have footage from the fight and everything.
Yeah.
So hopefully we
can talk, man. We can do another one of these too.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of stuff we skipped over. We skipped over like all the 8 days. We just got the first and last day.
Yeah. There's a lot to happen, but
well,
we got
hopefully,
some good stuff.
You know, with the video, people will be able to see some of the meat and potatoes. As
hopefully I did a good job. I did video a good bit, so we'll see what Jay's able to do with what I produced by myself. You know.
Yeah. But you also have some fight news coming up too. So this is the craziest part for me about this whole thing. So, you know, you're doing the bare knuckle boxing. You still fight in boxing as well, regular boxing and MMA.
Yeah.
Before this trip, you had a BKFC fight, and then I don't know if they postponed the date or whatever, but you were going into this trip thinking 2 weeks or whatever, or maybe a month after, whatever it was, I'm going to have to fight BKFC, so I can't get too messed up.
Yeah.
And now that's kind of changed a little bit. Now you have a boxing fight coming up, and then an MMA fight.
Yeah.
And do you have a BKFC fight lined up now? Or
no, BKFC is like on call, man. It's just like whenever they give me an opportunity, I'll fight, which is not a problem because I'm in the gym all the time training. So whenever I get a call from any of these people, I'm pretty good to go. But I'm fighting March 1st in Greenville for BCB boxing promotion. I'm already locked in for that one. And then on April 5th, me along with I want to say 4 to 5 people from this gym are fighting.
Really? Yeah.
Muay Thai, kickboxing and MMA. So
it's going to be
a conflict.
Yeah, coaches are going to have their hands full.
Yeah.
That's in Columbia?
Yeah.
Well, who else fighting?
So we got, obviously, Jay's going to probably be headlining the card. And then Josh, probably Corey, Britton, just for MMA.
Jackson's fighting on it. He's got a kickboxing.
Oh, wow.
And probably Skyler.
That's 6. Wow.
Well,
that's an NEA. That's an NEA card right there.
Another one.
Another
yeah.
one.
So
then,
we got it. I feel like we have to do an embedded on that.
So Josh will, Josh will be. Josh is defending his title. One more amateur fight. Talked to his manager and stuff, and that's what he feels. He hasn't fought in a while, so it'd be good. And then pro debut for him probably in July, June or July in Charleston.
Nice.
And then Corey's fighting the guy that Josh beat.
And Corey
nice.
just won his last fight too.
Yeah.
That dude JR.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. I haven't said yes yet.
You should.
Yeah.
I think.
But
that's a good
that's
fight.
I was waiting until after Corey's fight this weekend to say yes, but that's a killer fight.
I think that's a great fight.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. Corey will beat that guy. I think that guy's got quit in him, and Corey doesn't.
Yeah. And then and then Josh will fight a dude that beat JR by a buggy choke.
Sounds like a smart setup.
Buggy choke.
By a buggy choke. He beat that JR Banks by a buggy choke. But that guy lost his last fight. So he's 4-1. Josh has got 8-1.
Yeah.
So
Damn, a buggy choke.
it'll be a big night for us all the way around, man.
I feel good about it. The group of people he just said, those names, that sounds like a 6-0 night to me. 6-0 night for the team.
We're training hard too, man. We're training really hard.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man. That gives me something to look forward to in the next couple months as well.
Yeah. Hey, also, one thing I want to say real quick is this gym here, the Next Element Academy, is a great gym, dude. I've trained in a lot of gyms, and I've got to, get inside gyms and just the coaches and the coaches here. We have absolute great coaches, man. There's so much knowledge, and
We care too.
We care about people, man. We come with issues just like everybody else, but man, we are really good coaches, and we really want the best for our students. And the sky's the limit for us, dude. So I'm really pumped to see, within the 6 years that this gym's been open, to see where it's come from and where it's gonna go is just incredible. And I'm happy and thankful to be here and be a part of this team. And I'm just looking forward to seeing where we go, man. Just now that I've been able to see as much as I've done and see the quality of coaches that we have here is just a blessing, and I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah, I'm thankful for you too, man.
Yeah, thankful for you guys. Let me get one of these. Come on. That was a good one.
I don't know if you matched.
You don't have to wipe your hand when you dap me up. He's got dirty hands.
But yeah, no, I agree with everything Jay said, man. It's a good environment, and it's not just us.
Yeah, Jay trains once a week.
Bro, listen, I come in here. I was basically here for 2 years straight, just about every day, and then some shit happens in life.
I gotta work.
Some shit happens in life, and now I haven't been here every day.
Well, listen,
does is
I
bust my
understand
balls
that, but me and DK, we don't care if your toes broken, if your back's hurt. We don't care if your bank account got ripped a new ass. You show your ass up, but they're working, baby.
Baby.
I'm so sorry, Jay. I'm so sorry.
I can't say anything. As much as I want to say, well, come get on the mat. I can't even say that to him.
Can't even say it. Well,
But I'll say it anyway. Why don't you just come get on the fucking mat? You'll beat me. But at least I'm gonna give you a hard round.
Oh, I'll be doing jiu-jitsu tonight. Oh, you're screwed, bro.
I'll be here tonight.
I'll see you at 6, bud.
Yeah, right.
bud.
And I want you the very last round. I don't want you.
Not
the
a
first
problem,
round.
man. Primed up and ready to roll.
You want to take us out?
Yeah. Thank you guys for locking in with us. Appreciate you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get this podcast pumping out there a little bit more. Appreciate you.
Yep, appreciate you, Jay. It's always fun.
Appreciate
having
you
on,
guys.
man.
That was a fun time.
And until next time.
Next time out.